Okay, it's a new day, so I'm resuming. All right, I've already chalked out my line for where the glue is going to go, and I've already sanded this to remove all the finish. It's a lot less shiny than it was. Now, I'm just going to take regular old acetone, just regular old nail polish remover, and I'm going to completely go over the whole sole. Be sure to get the lip of the sole too, okay? You have to remove all of the oils from your hands, shipper's hands, anything that was in the factory to get it out of the original mold when they made the sole. All that has to be off. So this is now prepared. I have a giant thing of barge that I use, and it is only for certain materials. So you'll notice that in my Etsy store, I sell small tubes that are for, you know, like a pair of shoes, so you don't have to spend the big bucks to get a giant thing. But each barge formula is created for different surfaces. This one will cover rubber, leather, and textile. And since I have a rubber sole, I'm using this. But if you have a TPU sole or a PU sole, then you're going to have to use a much stronger glue that is set with heat. And the reason that I shy away from those is because all cobbler's glue is highly flammable. So it's a little bit dangerous to do it at home. So I just thought, why do that if I don't have to? I can get a great quality sole made in the United States that's rubber, that's from a tree and not, you know, made in a lab. It's probably better for the environment. So I just choose to go this route. So just keep that in mind if you've purchased a sole from elsewhere. All my soles are rubber, but if you're purchasing them from another shop, make sure that you know beyond the shadow of a doubt what material that is, because some people who just randomly buy them think that they're rubber and they're not. So it's a great video. Okay, so after I do all this, I'm going to repeat it. So it'll be 2 times on the sole and 2 times on here, and it has to be tacky. So don't do it when it's just immediately put on. You have to wait in between. And then I'll clamp it. And I'll show you what a clamped one looks like. Okay, I'll come back later. Okay, now I'm back. I've stuffed all of these holes full of felt, and this is dried some. It's now tacky. Can you hear that? So it's a little bit tacky, not fully dry. I'm going to repeat the process of gluing this. Now, I'll do this again here. I've seen some cobblers actually pour the stuff onto here. And if it gets thin, Barge also sells a thinner that you can mix into it. Because, you know, if it gets a lot of air, sometimes it can thicken up. Mine hasn't had that problem yet, so I don't use it. Barge. So that's fully in there. And I'll stuff this one down. You notice how I can touch this stuff and it doesn't really stick me? Because you have to have two surfaces for the chemical bond. I'm going to stick a little bit. This is what it looks like when I clamp the soles. So I have this cobbler stand that's iron. I'll take off the shoe here. Oops, I have to unclamp it in order to get it off. So I've got these really good clamps. Got them on Amazon. Denali. They're pretty good. And they come in like a package of 12. All different sizes, which I find useful. So I get out my... This is not the... I just put some string that I'm going to use to sew it to temporarily. So I've got this really heavy iron thing, and it sits on here. And I use this for when I'm drying boots, because I can invert them and all of the water will sort of slide down. In fact, look at this. There was a little bit of water still on here from this boot because it wasn't fully dry. The sole was fully dry, but this area I was working on, so all that came falling this way so that I could dry the boot. Your felt needs to be fully dry before you glue them. So that's part of the reason why it takes so long to make felted shoes, because you have to dry it before you can put the sole in, and then you dry, you know, it has to go through several felting and drying phases, and it can take up to 2 days to fully dry a felt boot. You know, just by inverting it. I put them over, what do you call them? Air vents. We're always running the air conditioning or the heater around here, so that speeds it up quite a bit. So this one is now on. It's fully glued, and the beauty of this barge is that when you take it into temperature differentials, really hot weather to really cold weather to freezing weather, it actually makes the glue bond stronger. So that's partly why I love this glue. Alright, so I glued this a second time, let that cure up. This has sort of changed colors, you see that? And now it's dry, and now I'm going to put another coat on here, then I'll meet the two together and clamp them. The clamping allows me to start felting faster because the bond will happen in 10 to 15 minutes instead of up to 3 hours. So if you are making a lot of shoes, like I have a wait list of shoes to make for people, and so I gotta get with the program, get one shoe done so I can start the next one. If that's your case, then you're gonna want to clamp them for sure. Now, if you're just making a pair of shoes for your grandkids or for a spouse or yourself, then, you know, you can get by with just weighting them. Put something really heavy in the shoe and let them dry that way. The more pressure you put on them, obviously, the better the contact's going to be. And that's what you want. Now, after this, I'm gonna sew that sole on that I just glued, and I'll show you how to do that because it's done with the cobbler's awl, and it's done with the cobbler's awl and a lock stitch. So since that's not exactly taught in home ec, I will go ahead and teach you how to do that.